truly believe that this is the hack to winning YC's demo day and raising $5 million, which I did in 2022. Here's how I did it. Hello, my name is Catherine. Welcome back to my channel. I'm the founder of Anja Health. We help pregnant parents free stem cells from their umbilical cords and placenta to use for potential future disease treatment in the family, and I was in Y Combinator's winter 2022 batch. I ultimately went on to raise $5 million in venture capital funding and scaled the business to $1.5 million ARR and profitability, and it's still going on today. So today I'm going to be breaking down what demo day is, what it's like, and then I'm going to be showing you the actual pitch that I had for demo day so that you can get a sense of ultimately how I helped close out my $5 million round. Disclaimer that I raised about $500,000 of this as a pre-seed prior to YC, and then I raised $3 million of this prior to demo day, approximately 2 weeks before demo day, so that I could continue the momentum, so that I could have some momentum for demo day, and then I closed the remaining $1.5 million or so from demo day and following. But I got amazing traction from demo day. I even closed some 100K checks without even hopping on a call with someone, just because I had a lot of momentum from the round that was building in the weeks prior to demo day. However, it's also important to note that this was a bull market and there was a lot of VC funding flowing through. And I have another YouTube video on exactly how I raised the $5 million, in addition to another video on the deck that I used to raise $5 million. So go check that out on my channel if you want to like and subscribe. But today I'm going to be focusing specifically on demo day. So demo day is the climax of the Y Combinator program after about 3 months of going through a lot of close mentorship with YC partners, attending different lectures on concepts that are really important to startups, launching, etc. You present at demo day where every YC founder gets 1 minute to present a slide to a bunch of investors, and the event is invite only for these investors. And then there is also a second demo day for YC alum themselves. And demo day is really, really important because there are some funds that focus solely on investing in companies that they discovered during demo day. So there's definitely a lot of exposure for founders, and it's a really good way to be able to raise a lot of money very quickly. However, my personal take is that tier 1 funds allocate their YC demo day investments and typically close those investments prior to demo day. So I think it is relatively smart to actually start fundraising a little bit before demo day, which is what I did. However, that is not YC's general recommended advice. But if you do not do what I did and you do take YC's advice, I still think you're on a really good path for success. Because like I said, there are so many investors that are just waiting to attend demo day and invest only in companies that they see and find on demo day. Okay, so I think the secret to success on demo day, take a shot every time I say demo day, the secret to success on demo day is doing every single thing that you can to stand out. And I'm going to go through all of the optimizations that I made to be able to stand out. And the reason that it's so important is because there's so many pitches done in anywhere from 1 to 2 hours, and each founder only gets a minute. So you can only imagine how monotonous it feels to see so many pitches over and over again. So you have to optimize for every single thing that you can in order to make someone pay attention to you, even if it's for only 10 seconds. So in addition to the airtime, every founder also gets to present one slide and use it as their talking points, and then they get 1 minute to explain everything on the slide. But you can also show, don't tell, if you want to use the slide to your advantage. But I did end up going through each of the points on my slide. Okay, so hack number 1, very Elle Woods, Legally Blonde of me, but I made our slide pink, as you can see here. I also used a more unique font, which is Poppins, which just felt more fun to me, although now I think that the font is personally a little bit outdated. I also used a really cute mascot because I felt like this lamb really evoked joy for me, so I wanted to be able to evoke joy in others, and I included a photo that we took with a bunch of babies. We literally hired baby models for this shoot using this company called Soona, SOONA.com, and they will basically zoom you into remote shoots and help you coordinate hiring models. Anywho, I digress, but I knew that babies would capture people's attention, especially because we have a wide variety of ethnicities represented. So every potential investor or viewer can identify with at least one of the babies and think to themselves, oh my gosh, that's really cute, and then start listening to me. I also included my personal story about my brother passing away and then founding the company as a result, because I know that that typically does capture people's attention and it helps them think that I have a real personal connection rather than just doing some kind of revenue generating software product in order to make money. And a lot of investors told me that that is the reason that they invested. They felt like they don't often find really mission driven companies and a story that really resonates with them. So I knew I had to include that in my slide as well. So that's my very last bullet. Then I included a little bit about what we do, indicated some traction on the fundraise by mentioning that 776 had already committed. And I also showed a more unique stat, which is that I had 110,000 followers on TikTok at the time. And I grew that immensely over the course of Y Combinator. I believe when I got in, I had 30K followers. And over the course of the next 3 months, I made it to 110K. And at the time in 2022, the idea of doing founder-led content was kind of a new new concept, especially on TikTok, so I knew that I wanted to include that as well. Okay, now let's watch my demo day video. I actually have not seen this ever, but even logging into Bookface, which is YC's internal community, and having to download this video, I realized that there were also things about my appearance that I tried to optimize in order to stand out. So number one, I'm a woman, unique fact. Number two, I wore a ruche top because I wanted it to look kind of feminine and stand out because I knew that I would be one of the few women that were presenting. I wore a necklace, although it's backwards. So I don't know why I did that. And I also wore blue contacts because I wanted to lean into the femininity, and I know that it makes me look like an ABG. And I feel like in Silicon Valley in general, that's kind of a popular stereotype, I would guess. So of course I'm going to lean into it and take advantage of the things that I have. Take pride in what my mama gave me. So something crazy that another female founder once told me is that you should strive to be a 7 out of 10 appearance-wise when you're in business settings, because if you're a 5, people will think that you're too uncute to talk to and they won't acknowledge you. But if you're a 10, they're going to assume that you're too stupid and they won't talk to you. And actually, I have a theory that this applies especially to the musician Madison Beer, because I think she's really beautiful and she makes really good music, but she hardly gets acknowledged for it because she's really pretty. So just some food for thought for female founders out there. I also cannot believe that I did not do my brows, but that's a story for another time. Also, in total, you have 1 minute, and it kind of surprises me that this is actually only 35 seconds. But I think I just wanted to be short and sweet and get to the point and not take up too much time. Hi, my name is Catherine, and I am the founder of Anja Health. Anja Health helps pregnant parents freeze their umbilical cord so they can use its stem cells for future disease treatment purposes. We grew to 100K in contracted revenue in the past 5 months, as we have a 14K truly lifetime value. We are a D2C subscription with organic acquisition and a community of 100K and counting, and we have less than 1% churn. I founded Anja because of my younger brother who had cerebral palsy and could have benefited from cord blood stem cells. Thank you. Okay, slay. I actually think that I did a really good job at talking at a slow pace, because I think that when people are slow talkers, it helps to actually engage the audience in the same way that I think Barack Obama speaks kind of slowly and with a lot of intonation, and it helps really capture attention. And I wanted to throw out a lot of numbers because I knew that that would also capture attention. So that's why I mentioned our churn, our booked revenue, our following, etc. I think I should have perhaps put my mission and my brother's story towards the beginning, because I think that that really helps to capture attention very well and serve as kind of a hook in the way. But I think I didn't, because I probably got feedback that I should not do that. And so I just included it towards the end. But overall, I think this is good. And I got recognized a handful of times in the next year and a half or so since this demo day happened. And I think it was investors recognizing me from this demo day pitch. So I imagine that this was a relatively good pitch if they were remembering me amongst the hundreds of pitches that they were seeing that day. Also, it's important to note that I was in W22. It was one of the last remote batches due to COVID, but today demo day actually happens in person. And frankly, I think I probably would have done even better if it was in person, because I'm really tall, I have a good presence, I enjoy public speaking, it doesn't make me too nervous. But I think it was helpful to be on my computer because I literally read something off, if you can tell by my eye contact. And I think it was helpful to not feel like I had to rehearse something. So yeah, that is the thick and thin of demo day and my demo day video. Shout out to Anthony Scarpone Lambert, an amazing other YC founder of Adney for nurses. He recommended that I do this video in one of the comments on my reading my Y Combinator application video, and I'm so happy that he did. Thanks for watching.
But these bitches in my business come me out to choosing violence. If you see me out in public, you don't know me, keep it silent. In the bedroom, I be screaming, but outside I keep it quiet. You know, I'm the lowest of the lowest.